Well, I have a wife and a kid. My kid was born in March, so he's an infant still. So I am getting a hang of that. That's at the forefront of my mind. If you ask me, like, who are you? What is your life about? Right now, my brain to him. His name's Obi, Obi Courage Taylor, and my name's Nate Taylor. I know he's already said that, but yeah. So I grew up in Western Michigan. That's where I was saved. Grew up in a very Bible believing church. Very good values were instilled in me at a young age, and also the Word of God. So really thankful for my upbringing. Really shaped me into what I'm able to do for Jesus today. Uh, um, and then it's kind of a strange story. I don't want to get too into how I got into Children's Lantern because I'm from Western Michigan, and um, and then I actually was a missionary in China for 6 years. I graduated a Bible college in 2011. I went to Word of Life Bible Institute, and then worked in China for several years and got back from China and was actually kind of convinced that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to share the gospel with um, whoever would listen to me, and um, China seemed like a very good place, an opportunistic place to get that done and accomplished. Um, but it just God just kind of steered me the other direction. I was newly married here in the States and got offered this opportunity to work alongside of this amazing organization, Lantern, and I kind of just took the opportunity as an open door that God wanted me to go through. And now we're over a year later, almost 2 years later, and I really enjoy my job.
So, for just in case somebody out there isn't really aware of what is Children's Lantern, uh, how would you describe that? Like, what type of missions work do you do, and what's going on there in the broad sense? Now we can talk a little bit
Yeah.
later about some of the newer things that are going on, but just in the broad sense, like, what is Children's Lantern?
Our goal is to empower the community around the child welfare system. We believe that foster families are the front lines for ministry in the worst areas of our community, and so our goal and our purpose is to equip those foster families to be the most successful foster families that they can be. Um, I give a lot of credit to our family care coordinator, Abby Phillips. She's been on a little bit less longer than I have, and she has really fueled our fire for that area. A lot of people will, when they hear about Children's Lantern, especially over the last 8 years, they'll think, oh, they're an anti-human trafficking nonprofit, and that's still a very core value of like what we're trying to fight against. But we've kind of redirected our resources because the most susceptible demographic to human trafficking is kids in the child welfare system. So our mission is to basically we can't take away people's trauma. Like we
Yeah.
come across these individuals that have been trafficked, and it's heartbreaking, heart wrenching, and you just want to take away their trauma. That's I'm not a counseling expert or anything. Like I have no way to like foster healing in that person. I'm just not trained for that. And so like as a Children's Lantern organization, we kind of got together and we were like, what's a way we could almost take away that trauma? And the only way we can take it away is by preventing it in the first place. So that's our goal, is to take kids and kind of just support the foster care system, specifically in Defiance County. We do most of our work in Defiance County. We do work in the 4-county and even in the 6-county area here in Northwest Ohio. But since we're based in Defiance, most of our work gets done here. I'll just plug the Village Initiative. That's going to be the first thing people see when they go to our website. That was the expansion that we talked about earlier, about moving into a house where we can help kids that are waiting placement and like really excited about that as as like equipping our ministry to serve people. That's what we're looking for. And I don't mean to be long winded, but we use that word village like so much, and it can kind of be overbearing. But I always look at it like when we think of the word village, we think of these more almost prehistoric like communities that really. But what was so cool about back then is they so relied on each other. Like they were so connected to each other, and they helped each other out in such intense ways. Where nowadays we don't need that. Like we can really, like I've seen me go. I've almost gone like sometimes weeks without asking anybody for any sort of help because I can do it on my own.
Yeah.
I mean, I love technology. Don't get me wrong. I love this ability to do this, but like they didn't have that back then, and I want to incorporate that intense like involvement in each other's lives. I want to incorporate that into how we serve foster families, and so that's the whole idea behind the Village Initiative is we want to bring people together so that we can meet each other's needs.